There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Wind Strider! Time to go!
The whole situation is so confusing! Good plan! Impossible!
Just relax. Even if everyone decides...
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest,
No, we're already very... Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected of, but don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes...
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Oh, no. Ooh. Tum. Bim. Bim.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement. You ran to and remained hidden within. And once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime.
Yes, that's...
In that case, I call upon the prosecution.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly... There is no...
Нет,
that
не
is simply
рассказывайте,
your
как это есть.
Is that so? And if
Что-то на анимешек западаешь.
And you
Чего?
didn't hear
Что-то на
anything else
анимешек
at all?
западаешь.
В смысле
Nothing
западаю?
that might... No, I see.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside.
I was right by the
Конечно,
box and I
спасибо,
definitely
Миша.
heard the thud.
Ты трансляцию ведешь?
Да.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
На Ютубе, на Рутубе и на Твиче.
I have armed
Размах
myself to
хороший.
far more than smash your alibi.
Чё?
Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock. Tell me,
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
indeed. Then perhaps your first priority is to prove yourself innocent. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and... Oh, good thing I made all those preparations.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell...
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish first. When the thud was... Are these claims... Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to this.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own.
Order! Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This
So you would, in that case...
Well, this is awkward. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We based our entire... Not to set the wrong tone.
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed, but our organization...
Right now, we want to...
That's right. I knew if it were... That's why I did... The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. You met a Fatu, but still.
Sorry.
Well, you both say that, but right. Let's hear...
Of course. We've been trying to find... During our investigation... From that moment on, Lynette and I have been
Is that why you you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need... So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel, specifically to...
Well, nothing. Which should have been impossible, of course. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to... On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground. But after that, the homicide occurred...
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that...
That's the only way...
So, it was never my... But, like I said...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the skin... If we want to refute the Hydro Arc, huh?
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the... Finally, he used the vase to knock her out. Before... At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having... So, Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his... And there you have it. That's the truth.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of event. Seems this... According to Linney, he left via the vent. Linney went to the... Linney did not take part in the underground altercation.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something. When the countdown started, Linney, but he immediately used a vent. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in which the crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel. Finally, he reached the surface and... Paimon did it!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the
Oh.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around.
Oh, well, you're denying... You're saying that he wasn't.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more... Are you sure we don't need to give this... That's right! This means the same... Well played.
To think you'd use such luck. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have... The deceased's name is...
That can...
Oh, is that so? How interesting!
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so the sound we heard may have come from a clash. It would have been tough for both people to fit. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from a clash, but Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The deceased's name is Cowell. The sound we heard may have come from a clash. It would have been tough for both. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. Halsey's clothing was in the... The sound we heard may have... No one entered or... The sound we heard may have come from a clash. No one entered or... The deceased's name is... The deceased's name is... It would have been tough for both...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having...
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must...
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real life...
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but...
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that... The sound we heard may have come from... The deceased's name is... The vase was not broken by...
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared and Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a
can ever be transformed into what? Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection.
Even so, I trust the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reason. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't been given that we are.
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be... Guards, please step into the lounge.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from
the primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which one of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was... As such, we believe that the defense's...
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into...
But something so ridiculous.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to... Wait just a minute. Could that mean...
Mademoiselle, wait! What about your part?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit guards. Please continue examining the items along Mr. Linney. It appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence.
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case is seemingly unrelated.
Right! Like the metal hood! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water...
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the water from the primordial... Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic. Lynette was in the magic box on... Now it seems like the deceased's name is... Now it seems like the hook... Lynette was in the magic... I remember there was... The rope that held the water tank up, the water from the primordial...
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time in the original plan. When the magic box containing Halsey was... When the balloon afterward, but...
Huh. That actually...
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused?
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice.
On that note, the guards have just contacted. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordials.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Does this not clear, my dear citizen? Linny did not need, having made modification, but upon his ultimately, he not now as much. Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence. Is this the end of the...
Oh no.
I believe this is indeed... Now then, excuse me, everyone.
Miss, I must ask you not to...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who is... What in the world?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? But
once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the... Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't but, as the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin?
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian. And I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller. But I missed. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away.
Hey! No wonder you look familiar! So Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty—
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then I wasn't going to take that lying down. So I knocked him out, and there was nowhere to run from there, though. So I had to change my... I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the...
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we need to tell the entire... The flower vase. The strange sound. See. Lillian was...
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicks the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved.
Как он?
He did not know that Lilia mistakenly believed the tube broke with no way of escape. She knew that she would have to go through gardens.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right on—
At this point, all the—
Ah, so bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended.
What? Are you reading my mind? No. I have no further arguments.
Wow.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from with some modifications to the selector. He could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would to cover up any evidence while committing the deed. Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank. Using the fireworks at the end of the performance, he poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian, thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and... As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny... While there is much in Linny, in this case at least, as such, Linny and Lynette.
Great work. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an... How did you find the water from the primordial sea?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Lynn. I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen...
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one...
I was just following. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, therefore you would be wise to tell everything you...
Yes! Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people... We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Winnie...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess I didn't approach you with any ulterior. As for why that was how Father, who you might know as
The knave? The one who controls...
That's right. Back when our parents survived, I took my sister... crowded court. To my surprise, before long...
So you went for...
That was how but he would come...
That doesn't...
After I waited up the answer he gave...
Oh no.
As far as outsiders are concerned, I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. All I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood.
So, she'd already...
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. I was hesitant, but she was...
Oh, so that's how the two...
She has gained...
So, she...
That's right. Today's case has everyone at Hote to us orphans.
So, from small...
It's alright. I just hope if you should need anything at all in the future...
Bye, Linny!
Wherever in this world I roam, my home. It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel... Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure? And...
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear... Sorry.
Don't say that now.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit... Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know...
Huh? Do we really need to get that?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important... Anyway, it would just be a meal, so...
You don't have to twist my arm.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, then. Let's have our...
Time to go.
I came here several times with my father when I was little. But oh, don't worry. Everything looks so good. Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. And if it's yeah. Oh, we call this affair. Oh, true. Huh? Speaking of cases, well, we've certainly taken a big step forward. But I feel that if it hadn't happened right, right? Yet it was. If only that guy could have finished. In such investigations, even the smallest step, to be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective is required in some matters. It's easy to guard against, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists. Those highfalutin folk are not. It's all right. Let's talk about something else. What are your future plans? That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to him. I've heard that there's a long Guess that's... Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe. I'm sure Lady Farina would... all right, I can personally testify that this one works. When I... valid point. I hope... all right, no more joking around. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense. Why don't we give it a try?
Huh? No.
All right. Honestly,
is that so? If we're all finished eating...
Yeah. Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you. Hey, Nadia! What?
Oh, nothing. So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you
Let's go. Time is against us.
Need to hire a duelist?
Kamisato Ayaka.
On the subject of narcotics in general, there is one vital fact I would like to submit. I'm going to read this letter to you. Perhaps unwillingly.
There are many people. Looks like we're back here, huh? Traveler? Hey, why are you... Huh? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you my dear? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Wait. Who am I? My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember. I also remember going to many places. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. But now... No! Our reunion no longer has any meaning. The thought of me gives him no... If you meet Vache, tell him not. Perhaps that is so. If only I could have comforted him. Is that what you... It was a stick. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the... I think I hear your companion. Farewell then.
Look out!
Nice.
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Quick, now's our chance!
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually...
Mr. Callus's last wish.
Do not!
Sorry, demoiselle.
Thank you for your...
Sorry,
Whatever.
I doubt I know much more than your performance tonight.
And...
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment. I can only conclude...
What? Your point?
Yes.
I will continue in...
I do...
Так.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, I just... She's...